Hello, welcome again. So, my name is Pankaj. This is the second video in our lesson number 5 and in update series. Uh, so, this is we have discussed in the last video about the set index. If you haven't watched my video, please go ahead and do that. In this video, we will discuss about the concat method, which is very helpful to join a two data frame based on their axis. I will go into the depth each and every step. I will attach a two link which will be helpful to understand you better. There is a two documentation file. So without further delay, let's get started. So this is how we will use some of the functions or argument that can be passed along with concat method, and we will go through each one of these arguments. Now, I want to create a three data frame. See, using the dictionary, I can pass the column name and then the value of these columns, and along with that, I have passed a index. So if you see here 0, 3, and 3, 6. So let's run this cell. You see there are three data frame which has been created. First is ABCD. All columns name are same, ABCD, ABCD, and then you see the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. They are random. Okay, so how can I concat these three data frame? Concat, which means join. Um, so you want to join these data frame so that there will be no gap here, and first data frame, second data frame is under the first, and third is under the second. So let's go ahead and you can do by the concat method, which is here. So the panda does concat and pass a three data frame object which has been created by in the last step, and pass using a list. So if you go ahead and do that, you see there is only one data frame has been created. So in the first 0, 1, 3, and then 3, 5, 6, 7, and you see these first four line are from one data frame, and then the middle four are for data frame 2, and these are for data frame 3, right? So there is a problem with this data frame, because you see 3, 3, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, like that. How we can assign a auto incremented index, which is can be done by passing an argument called ignore index is equal to 2. So let's take this, let's run this and see what's going on. So if you see now, there is now 3, 3, or 6, 6, or 7, 7. So if you pass ignore index is equal to 2, which means the index will be sorted out and auto incremented. Okay. There is another keyword that you can pass is called key, right? So along with uh, data frame object list, you can pass a x, and if you run this cell, you will see there is a three x, y, z has been, you can see here them. So the x is associated with this first data frame, and then second is for this middle four, and then this z is for last data frame. So you can pass a dictionary instead of this list by this, something like that. X is equal to data frame, y is equal to data frame 2, and z is equal to data frame 3, and then you can retrieve the data easily using this. So if you say result with key dot location, then you will see only the first data frame. If you say we pass here is equal to z, then you will see the last data frame, right? So this is how easily you can retrieve the data by passing the keys to the pandas dot concat method, right? Okay, so now let's move to the another functions called uh, the argument. If I say, if I make correct, so let's do this. So I'm just creating a new data frame which is copy, and because I do not want to change in data frame 3, I just want to create my own data frame 4, and then I just passed here the column. I just rename the column A, B, B, C, C. It was A earlier, then I changed the index. And if you see here, these two data frame, just A, B, C, D. The first is data frame 1, and second is data from 2, 4. So the index are slightly common, and there are columns are also, some of the columns are different. and some are common. So let's say that um, let's that what is use of x is equal to 0 and 1 or like that. So if I run here, you will see that if I let me reduce my size of window, then if you see that if I pass x is equal to 0 and then concat, so which means x 0 means along the x columns, which means it will join based on the columns. So if you see there are four columns here, two are common, B and C, right? B and C, and A is not common to both data frame. It will show like that. B and C are column, C, B and C. D is not column common, and then A and D are from data frame 4, and they are also not common. So if you see here, these two common data frame, which can you will see all are here, but whichever is not common, you will say any and value. So what do you think if I pass a x is equal to 1? So let me run it. If I run here, you see that the x and y is gone up, and which means that it will be the two data frame will be concatenate or join based on the row. If two rows or three rows, the common rows will be having all the data, or the rows that do not have a common value will be n a n. So if I say 2 and 3 are common, right? If I pass x is equal to 1, which means along the row, and 2 3 are column common, which means it will be shown in the result data frame. And 0 1 is not common, and 10 are 10 and 11 is also not common. So if you see the result here, you will notice it. Okay, so move forward. There are one argument that can be passed, which is join. How do you want to join your data frames? So there are two argument, two name that can be passed here. If you pass join is equal to outer, which is like a union, and if you have basic knowledge of mathematics, then union is like adding, and the common will be both data frame parts, and intersection is like just retrieve the common part, ignore the if it is not common in other two data frame, right? So if I run it, then you will see that if it is join is equal to outer, which is like a union, then all column will be displayed. And because I have not passed access is equal to 1 or 0, it will take a default which is 0, and it will be along the columns. So A, B, C, D, and then A and D, D is how B and C are common, and A, D, D are not common. So if you see the common have all the data, and that doesn't have common have any, right? So if I pass a inner, then you will get only the B and C, right? So this is how it works. So let's take example here and then pass axis is zero, which means along the rows. If and it is inner, right? If I may correct, let's take outer and see. So if you see, there are two rows. If you remember, there are two rows which were common in both the data frame, but then you see here that NN and NN, because they are not common. If I pass inner here, then only row number 2 and 3 will be displayed here, right? Okay. So move forward, we will talk about the verify integrity. So it just knowing that if it is contained and duplicate, it will throw an error. So I'm just passing data frame 1 and data frame 1. I want to concat them and check if it is they they are there are some common indices are presented here, because it's same, which means there must be common. They will be all common, so it will throw an error such as indexes overlap values. But let's print here the values. If you do not use the try expect, then it will be long. There will be long print output here. So to move forward, then we will discuss about the name property of this join concat method. If I want to create let's take a series which is x1, x0, x1 to x3, and name is x, and I want to concat with this data frame, and which is along with x-axis, which means if the rows are same, then then it will be concat. Otherwise, there will be any n, right? So, which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is default for this, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the index of this data frame. They will concat along with access. So let's take that there's a question like what if I don't provide the name as argument. So this is same as and it does not have any name, and then I pass three series. So if you see here, it will take there is a name of x. Then now it is auto incremented and auto assigned. Then let's move for the sort. How can we use? So sort is used to sorting the columns name or row names if you pass explicitly is which means access is 0 and sort is true, which means that the column will be sorted out, right? So you see, if you do without the sort, then the a will be afterwards. But now if you see here, they are all sorted out, right? So it is a question for me that I can append a rows. I can append a row to the data frame using concat method. This can be used to illustrate like there's a there is a series and which will be like a column, and then how can you append to a data frame. So first the thing is the series need to be converted to the data frame, and after that it's must transpose and then append to a row, append to a data frame. So this can be done in few steps. So the first step is to convert it a data frame and then transpose and then concat. So if you see the result here, it means that it means that um, it is appended here and NNH because the DDDD is not a common colors. So that's it, guys, for today. I have covered a lot arguments using the concat method. If you have any doubts, please comment out. I will be happy to answer those questions. Thank you. See you in the next video.